Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Chris Flanagan in tonight for Mark Hall. We are staying top of breaking news out of Montgomery County. Police there arrested a man they say gunned down a gas station employee last night. We learned this afternoon police made a gruesome discovery inside his home, a woman's decomposing body. DC News Now reporter Cheyenne Curran covers Montgomery County for us. She joins us live now from the White Oak neighborhood where this all happened. And Cheyenne, police held a briefing just a little while ago.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, those details are definitely disturbing. Police say that the suspect who shot and killed a 61-year-old employee at that Shell station behind me is 31-year-old Tory Moore. Well, he lived here across the street at the Enclave Apartments, and police say that when they arrived to arrest him, they found a pregnant woman's decomposing body in his apartment unit. Now, let me give you all the details because this is a lot. Police say just after 3 p.m. yesterday, they were called to the Shell station and found 61-year-old Ayalu Wandamu with multiple gunshots to his chest. Police say video shows Moore and Wandamu arguing, Moore throwing items at the clerk, who then grabbed a metal pole. That's when police say Moore shot Wandamu, grabbed an iced tea, and left. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Police say they quickly identified Moore and saw he headed towards Enclave Apartments across the street. Overnight, they got a no-knock warrant, and when they arrested Moore, they say they found a pregnant woman's body in advanced state of decomposition. They say they also found a 9mm gun that Moore is not allowed to have because of his criminal record. Chief Jones said Moore did not resist arrest and even confessed to his crime. Take a listen.
He made statements implicating himself in the murder of Wandamu, the convenience store employee. He also told detectives that he was in a relationship with a female who was pregnant. The female who was found inside of the apartment, and that there had been some type of fight between the two about 1 month prior to that led to the victim becoming deceased.
Now, the medical examiner is now trying to figure out the identity of that pregnant woman, her cause of death, and exactly how far along in her pregnancy she was. Now, we did not hear anything from neighbors. We've been in the neighborhood for a little bit, and police say that they didn't get any type of concerns as far as them smelling a decomposing body in anyone's unit. Now, Moore, he is facing several charges and also first-degree murder. We'll make sure that we keep you up. He is being held without bond tonight. I'm reporting in Montgomery County, Maryland. I'm Cheyenne Curran for DC News Now.
All right, Cheyenne, thanks. Just horrific details there. All right, taking a live look outside. Today really felt almost too good to be true. Finally saw the sun and some clear skies. A beautiful sunset here over the Capitol. All right, but the big question now, will this nice weather be sticking around? Let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Matson. And Damon, can we expect the nice weather to last at least through the weekend?
Chris, that might be a tough stretch. Unfortunately, Mother Nature was nice enough to give us this one full day of sunshine, and it did turn out to be quite a beautiful one as we warmed up those temperatures a little bit. The one catch you may have noticed was the fact that despite how sunny it was, those high temperatures did not really jump up to where they have been the last few days. DC reached 50 degrees, as did Fredericksburg, Culpeper, down into southern Maryland was closer to 50 degrees, but most locations did stay in the mid to upper 40s because of the fact that we had a northerly wind that just would not let up, and that kept those temperatures a little bit more on the chilly side. And look at this, we're already cooling down now with that sun setting. 37 already in Winchester, low 40s back along the Interstate 81 corridor in mid 40s as you approach DC and the I-95 corridor. But the clear sky really is not going much of anywhere, and that's part of the reason we're dropping those temperatures so quickly here. Things continuing to stay very quiet across the DMV and the entire mid-Atlantic, but there's a storm system that's back across the Great Lakes right now, moving into the Ohio River Valley. It's not much of a storm system. It's going to be weakening as it arrives here, but it is likely to bring some unsettled weather as we go toward the weekend. Your evening plans, though, will not be interrupted. We'll still have a partly cloudy sky. Just be ready to bundle up a little bit as those temperatures do very quickly fall back into the 30s by the time we hit 8 o'clock tonight. And then, yeah, for the weekend, And we're talking about clouds back in the picture, and there you have it. Very light precipitation chances. Certainly going to be dry more often than soggy. Really dry most of the weekend, except for when we have those few isolated showers moving through. Now, the other catch here is it is going to be a bit chilly as some of this precip moves through. Could there be some wintry precipitation in the mix for some of us this weekend? We'll let you know coming up in your full forecast here in just a bit.
All right, David, thanks. See you then. Meanwhile, earlier today, Brittany Griner finally returns to the United States after nearly 10 months in Russia. She touched down in San Antonio, Texas this morning, where she's being evaluated now in an army hospital. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke for the first time since her release. He said that everything is possible and compromises have been found. When asked whether other prisoners could be swapped. And developing right now, a Fairfax County police officer is in the hospital after being involved in a motorcycle crash. It happened at Braddock Road and Roanoke River Road. Police say that a car in the center lane was moving to the right to get out of the way for law enforcement when it collided with an officer on a motorcycle. That officer was taken to the hospital with serious injuries.
Yeah, so our officer had serious injuries. At this point, he's conscious and alert. We're praying for a swift recovery for him, but we're luckily it wasn't more serious than it could have been.
Well, police told DC News Now that the driver of that car did remain on scene.
So I talked to the woman who did a great job yesterday, and our train operator sped through that station after she got word that and kept people out of danger. We have great people here protecting people every day, but yeah, I'm sick and tired of gun violence. I know the mayor's sick and tired of it. A bunch of other people are speaking out. We need our community to come together and our country to come together and stop having so much gun violence.
And new video tonight. Take a look here. Rail operator being hailed a hero after Wednesday's shooting inside the Metro Center station. This video was released. It shows the operator speed up and bypass the station when she noticed something was wrong. The man was shot and killed by an off-duty FBI agent during a fight. And developing now, police need your help identifying this man. He is accused of throwing urine on a Metro bus driver last Friday. Metro Transit Police said the man repeatedly asked the driver to start and stop that bus and harass other passengers on board. The bus is traveling on Harkins Road and Annapolis Road in Lanham, Maryland. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Well, a popular pedestrian bridge in Arlington is closed tonight for some unexpected work, and that is frustrating neighbors. We're talking about the pedestrian bridge that connects North Fairfax Drive to Fort Myer Drive over Arlington Boulevard. And that is where we find our Dave Laval this evening. And Dave, a lot of people now wondering when that bridge will reopen.
Well, Chris, right now that is the big question. Unfortunately, we don't have the answer for that. We can tell you that Arlington County told us earlier today the span behind me simply is not safe to use right now. Crews are working on it, but again, there is no word when people will be able to use the bridge again. Traffic is blocked from entering this pedestrian bridge over a section of Arlington Boulevard. Not what Shelby Burns wants to hear.
Yeah, I actually didn't know it was closed, so I was planning on crossing the bridge right now, but now I'm going to have to walk a little farther and extend my lunch break.
Arlington County said crews that inspected the bridge Thursday found unsafe concrete in some sections of it. The county had no choice but to shut down this span.
I live across the street and I walk on this bridge pretty frequently, several times a week, so it's a little scary to know that it was unsafe.
Since we go out a lot, it's very inconvenient for me.
The Durbat family's visits to Fort Myer Heights Park usually include a trip across the pedestrian bridge. Not today.
It's not only inconvenient for me, it's inconvenient for a lot of people.
The bridge will remain closed while crews work to fix the problem. There's no word how long that will take. That means no shortcuts for those who rely on the bridge to cross a very busy road. Your other options to cross Arlington Boulevard here are to use the Road Street Bridge to the west or North Meade Street to the east. We're live in Arlington. Dave Laval, DC News Now. All right, Dave, thanks for that update. Well, meanwhile, police need your help finding a woman in connection to her infant son's death in Prince William County, Virginia.
37-year-old Tiffany Nicole Stokes is facing child neglect, felony homicide, and drug possession charges. It happened at an apartment complex on Soapstone Drive in Gainesville on June 23rd. Officers say they found a 20-month-old boy unresponsive. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Police said the child had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his blood. They also believe Stokes had access to prescription pills, including Percocet. Well, a man has been arrested in a pedestrian crash in Fairfax County, Virginia. The 94-year-old man did not stay at the scene after he was struck a person walking in the crosswalk. Now, this happened on Fairfax Boulevard and Pickett Road in Fairfax on November 29th. We're told that person had non-life-threatening injuries. That man is facing hit-and-run charges and is out on bond. Well, one senator is shaking things up in Washington. Earlier this morning, Arizona Democrat Kyrsten Sinema announcing she's leaving the party to become an independent. Our D.C. correspondent Raquel Martin joins us with what this all means for Democrats.
According to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Sinema's decision will have no major impact on Senate Democrats, who just days ago secured an extra seat in the upper chamber. He says he and Sinema have agreed for her to continue with her committee assignments. Arizona Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema is exiting the Democratic Party to become an independent.
Registering as an independent and showing up to work with the title of independent is a reflection of who I've always been.
Friday, the senator made the announcement official on Twitter.
Nothing's going to change for me, and I don't think anything's going to change for Arizona.
Sinema has been one of two outspoken moderate Democrats in the Senate who pushed back on key parts of the president's agenda. In a statement, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the two have agreed to keep her on her committee assignments, and says Senate Democrats will still be able to exercise subpoena power and clear judicial nominees. Friday afternoon, the White House said the president remains optimistic about working together.
We see her as a key partner. She has voted with the president 93% of the time.
It's mostly symbolic.
Todd Belt, a political expert from George Washington University, says in the end, Sinema's decision will have the biggest impact back in her home state, where the freshman senator is up for re-election in 2024.
This is a way for her to gain more notoriety and national attention, and also to say that she's sort of a maverick in sort of the mold of a John McCain.
Today, the White House was asked if President Biden would support Sinema in a re-election bid. At this point, the White House not weighing in, pointing out the fact that Sinema has not announced a bid for 2024. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
Well, they are partying in Croatia. What a moment. This new video showing fans there erupting in celebration as their national team defeated Brazil in the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup in penalty kicks. Brazil, a heavy favorite, was favored to win the World Cup. They've won it 5 other times. This is just a huge upset there. Croatia now heads on to the semifinals. Also ahead on the news at 5, stretching your dollar. You may want to think twice before you return your holiday items. How some retailers are charging customers for their returns. Got that story and much more coming up. You're watching DC News Now at 5, covering the news where you live, from the nation's capital to West Virginia. What a sunset here on this Friday evening. We're back after this.